Okay, so unfortunately, I accidentally left my phone holder in my trunk because, I work tonight, so I was like, okay, I gotta do this. I was at work, and so after work, I basically packed my stuff up. Ooh, crud. I hate it when people wear dark clothes at night. I can't see them, and then, just know I don't like that. Safety hazard. Okay, so anyways, so I went ahead and I was at work, and then I finally got off about 6:30 or so. So yeah, now I'm done. What is that I technically was supposed to get off at 6, but we were busy. And then after that, after we got off work, so I'm driving a fleet car, and then after I had it, somebody else was taking over, so I just basically stayed because it was busy. It was really busy. Even one of the managers came in and was driving because of all the orders we had. So anyways, I went ahead and drove the fleet vehicle until the next person arrived, and the next person finally got there between the time I left to deliver order and by the time I came back for the order. So for example, so I left probably about 6:10, 6:15. They already had the order bagged up, and they're like, hey, you're up, you're taking those top 2. I was like, okay. So I went and took the top 2 orders and then delivered it. And then after I was done, I came back, and the guy had finally, the next person had finally arrived. And so, I finally clocked out about 6:30. And then I remembered as I was packing up my car, I was like, oh yeah, I need to go ahead and grab, what are they called? I needed to grab, or ask the managers a question. So I came back and I was like, hey, I have a question for a manager. And they're like, which manager? I was like, I don't care. So they're like, hey, so-and-so, so your nickname, the one that your family uses? So they called out, hey, so-and-so. And so that's basically his name too, or nickname, I don't know which one, but yeah, they called him out, and he's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, I noticed there's 3 pizzas at the very top shelf, and I was wondering, what are they used for? Or what are they going to be for? And basically what it is that they had been there since 11, 12. They had been there since 12, so they've been there for a good 6 hours. And I was like, hey, what are they for? And he's like, or what are you going to do with them? Because I know they've been there for hours, literally. And he's like, hey, if you want them, you can have them. I was like, really? Yes. So he's like, yeah, you can have one. And so I got it down, or I asked the tall guy that was there. I was like, hey, I actually need to go over here so I can get into a gas station, get out my phone holder and my lotion. I realized my lotion is also in the trunk. So I went ahead and was like, hey, so-and-so, can you help me? Hey, tall dude, can you help me? And so he brought them down, and the manager was like, one's cheesy bread, one is pepperoni, and then he wasn't sure what the last one was. Well, he went ahead and got those down, and I checked them. One was cheesy bread, one was pepperoni, and the other one was actually a flat bread, or flat thin crust. That's what it's called. A thin crust with jalapenos. And I was like, I'll take I was like, I don't want the pepperoni. And so I was looking at the cheesy bread and the jalapeno one, because I was like, I don't know which one I want. And so one of the ladies turned to me and was like, you can have both of them. I was like, really? Thank you. So I have dinner. And I have a lot of leftovers at the house that my parents went ahead and purchased over the past week, in which I now can eat. Oh, yeah, and these audiobooks I need to go and finish. There it is. So, yeah, I need to finish, and hopefully I can finish them soon. Okay, now I can also charge my phone. Yeah, it was dying while I was taking deliveries, and I was like, oh no, I need my charger. So I like brought out my charger. And then I need to plug the phone up. So yeah, I went ahead and like, what was it? So I was able to thankfully get that. So I was happy about that. There we go. I was happy about the fact that I was able to get a cheesy bread and a jalapeno thin crust pizza. So yeah. And then basically like, usually it's like delivery order and then break and then delivery order. The tips are not the greatest, I'll admit, but I'm paid hourly at least. And then probably around 4:35, that's when it picked up. And then that's when people were like, here's a tip, here's a tip, here's a tip. So instead of walking away with like $10, $15 in tips, I finally walked away. Some of it was cash, so I got like $23, $24 in cash. And then some of it was actually by card. So I got like $23, $24 in card. So like $40, $50. And I'm like, gas money. Especially if it ends up being cash. So if it's cash, I'm just going to go ahead and have it as gas money. Okay, there we go. And then if it's card, I may use it for something else. So yeah. I'm like, I was happy. Especially that I finally got tips, like actual tips, instead of being like, oh, you don't get much, and I got $15 or so. But yeah, at night. Oh yeah, one of the stories is that while I was, what was it? So at one house I was like, or like, what was it? So at one point during today, I was like, you know what? I want to pet a dog because it's a dog. Like, why not? It's a dog. So I went ahead and I was like, I really, really hope I get to pet a dog. Like, I really hope I do. And so what ends up happening is that I hear this barking and this guy comes out with his kid, and it's a Boston Terrier. And I was like, handed them the food. I think they paid me or whatever, and then I was like, can I pet your dog? And they're like, sure. So like I gave them the pizza at that point, and then I like bent down, and like the dog came up, sniffed me, licked my fingers, and then backed up and continued to bark. And I'm just like, but I just want to pet you. Yeah, I was like, I just want to pet you. And then the owner, thankfully, was like, hey, so-and-so, come here. And so the dog actually came up. And then once I started petting the dog immediately chilled out and, like, calmed down and stopped barking. And he's like, I'm in my happy place. It was very interesting. Like, this particular, I don't know if this is normal or not, but this particular Boston Terrier, it had blue eyes. And I was like, wow. Like, I wonder if it's mixed with husky or if this is normal. Like, it was really, really unique. So, from there, I went ahead and, like, made several more deliveries. And eventually at one house, I noticed that there was this other dog barking. And I was like, oh, it's a barker, whatever. And so it was this dad and kid. And I noticed that the order had not been paid yet. This one I know that they had not paid yet. And I was like, so the kid opened up the door and I was like, hi, your total is such and such. And like, he goes ahead and hands me the money, and the dad is holding, like, the dog is barking at me, and he's holding, like, not the leash, but the part that's part of it or whatever. So the dad is holding that, like, holding the dog there, and I was like, oh, like inward. So I was like, oh. And so the son actually handed me the money, and I was about to count it. And they're like, you can keep the change. I said, really? Thank you so much. And then, like, I turned to because the dog was barking, I asked the dad, hey, what kind of dog is that? He's like, we don't know. And it's like, oh, he looks like a Pomeranian. And as I'm saying that, the dad responds, thank you, and closes the door just as I'm saying that it's a Pomeranian mix. And it's like, okay, yay. Guess that customer was annoyed with me so much. So, yeah, I went ahead and got that. So, yeah. And now I'm obsessed with, well, not obsessed, now I have it as a habit of driving very, very slowly. Because, like, I've gotten it, like, basically, yeah. Okay, I'm not making any sense. Basically, due to my job of having to drive slowly, I've gotten into the habit of that, and which is a good thing, because come next week, I'll be driving also slowly. Also, I've learned just drive about 5 minutes slower than the speed limit, so that way, like, it's okay, basically. Like, that way, because that way it doesn't ding me, because it tracks where I'm at based upon the thing that's on the roof. So, you know, the Domino's sign that goes on vehicles, that basically sort of tracks the vehicle of where they're at. And then also for the app, it also it's either the app or the sign, or both. I think it's both, actually. It goes ahead and tracks how fast I'm going. And so, like, if you, let's say you're going 100 and you're supposed to be going 30, it definitely notices that. It will definitely, like, make a note of that. And so, yeah, I thought that was interesting overall. And just with using that on the app and everything. So, I'm blinking for an extended amount of time because I've kept my eyes open for so long. I mean, I still blink here and there, but part of me is like, nap time. Oh, yeah, also I told the general manager and then one of the, like, shift managers, at one point, one of the managers was like, hey, can anybody else come in? And the general manager was like, nobody else is coming in. And it's like, oh. And for whatever reason, tonight's a busy night. And I was like, I wonder why. And then I was like, you know what? I wonder if it's because, like, it's after Christmas and people are tired of, like, eating leftovers. That was my guess. I'm not 100% sure. But I was like, that's a guess of mine. And so it's like, okay, maybe that's why it's, like, really busy. Like, for example, whenever I drive on Saturday mornings, it's me and one other lady, for example, who go ahead and drive. And I forget my charger. It's, like, it's plugged up. Not plugged up. It's in the, compartment. So, yeah, it's like, oh, glove compartment. There it is. It's like, what was it? There's 2 of us, and then usually at night there might be 3 of us. Well, it's been so busy, they usually only use like 1, maybe 2 of the ovens, and then just like tonight, I think they started using the 3rd oven, so it's like top, middle, bottom, so it's all like that. So yeah, they ended up doing something like that, I think. At least one of the managers mentioned about it's been so long, like, since he last used 3 ovens. There were also about 6 of us. By the time I left, there were like 6 drivers. And then whenever I left, I think there were 5. And then they also had, like, 3 CSRs. So for whatever reason, the manager was like, or general manager was like, I'm going to schedule everyone. Or maybe not everyone. I'm just going to schedule a lot of people, basically. So, yeah. What else happened? So, pizza, the guy closed the door in front of my face, like, right as I was saying, I think it looks like a Pomeranian mix. It, honestly, I would not be surprised if it was a Pomeranian mix. He's like, thank you, closed the door in my face. I was like, I guess I was annoying him. Thankfully, he gave me enough to cover the pizza, and if he didn't, I was going to be like, oh, I'll just, like, take it out of my tips, which would have sucked, but he was, like, annoyed. So, yeah. What else was there? And I forgot to clean my windows. Oh yeah, I was hit on by a guy. I told him no. Absolutely not. Just no. I was filling up gas. And I was like, no thanks. I was nice about it. I was actually nice about it. I was like, no thanks. And then we talked for another minute or two. He was like, can I just get your number? I was like, no. And then he asked the third time. I was like, no thanks. So I was actually nice about it. I've improved. So, yeah. Instead of... Yeah, I'm kind of proud of myself. I wasn't a jerk about it. So, yay. What else was there? So, in my vehicle, there is supposed to be a window washer fluid that's supposed to pump out, but for whatever reason, I think I still have plenty of window washer fluid, but for whatever reason, like, I press the button and it does not come out, so it's like, oh, never mind. So yeah. What else was there? So yeah, it was slowish for the first few hours, and then around 4, that's when it started getting busy. And then after that, why are your brights on? Dear sir, thank you. What was it? And then it started, according to one lady, she's like, yeah, it's starting to slow down a little bit, but then it'll pick up around 9. And I was like, oh, 9. So, like, whenever the people are high, and then there's also some people who end up getting drunk, like going to the clubs and the bars and such, and they're like, I'm hungry. And so they'll go ahead and, like, eat food, because you definitely want something somewhat filling. And so, yeah. She mentioned about that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, it was good to finally, like, get some extra hours and me not just doing, like, what was it? In the past, it was like, oh, I have gas money. So it was really nice being like, I have more than just gas money, basically. And I actually, yeah, there's a vehicle behind me. Where it's like, hey, I actually have money, like, I have gas money and it's in cash and it's not just card. So, yeah. I don't know what I'll do with the money that's on the card. I have, like, 70 on there now. I should use it once in a while. I don't know what for. Gas. Definitely gas. I can have this job as my gas, my fuel money card. So, yeah. And there's a deer! Oh my goodness! I'm so glad it didn't run out into the road. It was sort of like bobbing its head. Like, I don't know what to do, but I'm so glad it didn't run out into the road. Because deer meat is great, but like a destroyed vehicle, not so much. vehicle is now right behind me on my bumper. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So I did finally watch the video that you guys released. I think you guys released it around 4. I cannot wait for you guys to release the other one, like the Halloween special. Ooh, snap. Okay, there we go. Yeah, simply because I wondered about that. I was like, maybe you guys are just doing things very differently. I don't know. But I do hope that overall you guys will release the videos soon. Simply because I do enjoy them. Or maybe like you can release one Halloween special video and then release another Halloween special video. Because I know in the past you guys would release like one before Halloween and then like another like the week after. So one was bloopers and then the other was just normal basically. So I wonder if you guys can do that. But yeah. Oh, I will have to admit, you seemed a lot more at ease like in this past video, and that kind of makes me happy just by a lot. Especially where it's like, hey, you know what, you're having a good time, you're enjoying life and all that jazz. So yeah, overall seeing that video made me happy, just seeing you kind of like being able to laugh and have fun and such. Also, in regards, so just to give you a heads up, as long as I remember, I am going to probably put this in the next couple of days, so nobody else can see it, except unless you still have the link. Yeah, the reason why is because I've thought about doing stuff with whipped cream. Maybe not with a towel, with a tart, but maybe with a bath towel. And then also, let's see. So, you know, like, how should I put this? You know how people are like, you know, they have whipped cream for dessert and cherry, like a little cherry, a maraschino cherry. They use whipped cream, maraschino cherry, and then they also use like maybe chocolate or strawberry, like the glaze. Or they might even put some fruit. So you could do like, just imagine the dessert with like chocolate, or you can even do caramel. I like caramel. There's chocolate caramel or strawberry glaze, and then you put like actual fruit, and then you put whipped cream, and then yeah, so just imagine that, and then so imagine that as that, you know, as those layers. So you know how people are like, hey, this is really good dessert or whatever, or pie. Now imagine, instead of just doing that as pie, imagine doing, imagine that being changed to, you know, the phrase pussy for dessert. So imagine all of that and like the, I guess, sensitive parts. That's actually one of my fantasies that I would love to come true. And you're living it. And I'm just like, I want to do that. I'm not mad. I'm just like, I want that. And you get to live that. Yeah, so that's one of my fantasies, like, so badly. I have been wanting to do that fantasy for, like, what was it? I've been wanting to have that fantasy come true for, like, years. Yeah. I hope it comes true. I really want it to come true. I so want it to come true. Also, so, I did want to let you know, you're looking at, you know, sometime in the future getting and get married and such. I am looking as of right now. I see very little like if things change, okay, that's fine. But as of right now, I am looking at moving away about the second or third week in May, and it's because yeah, I just yeah. So I'm looking at moving during that time. And then also, like, whenever I move, it'll give me enough time to basically find a job, start working that job, and then if I need to, I can live in my car for a few months, and it'll give me a few months' time in order to find somewhere to live, because, like, I don't really have money at the moment. I don't have, long standing job, so it kind of limits me severely. And so, hence why at this moment I'm looking at moving by like the second or third week in May. So, yeah, I thought you should know, just in regards to my future plans and such. I did also notice, like, on your aunt's page, where basically it was like, my guess is that you're feeling guarded and you're really enjoying your time with the dog. And I mean, like, literally it's a dog, like, in the photo. And I thought it was adorable, just like seeing that. And I really hope that in the next year or two that I'll be able to own a pet. I don't know what kind, but I would love to own a pet, whether a dog or a cat or something. I would like that very, very much. I haven't owned one, and I would like to. So, yeah. But aside from that, oh shoot. Okay, there it is. I dropped my ponytail. Yeah, I would definitely like to own a pet. And then along with that, I would like to get a good, stable, decent paying job. So that way, yeah, and then maybe I can find a church and be like, can I stay at your property, and see if I can find somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. So yeah, I would like that. And then, what else is there? Yeah, since you mentioned when you're looking at moving forward and getting married, and in my case, I do still want to give you your present, so I'll give it to you, like, it'll be before your birthday. I'll yeah, it won't be directly to you. I will find a way to give it to you if you're still okay with it. Yeah, I realized that I've been thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Christmas is a really awkward time to be like giving a gift to like your relatives. And then from there, your relatives giving it to you without me giving a gift to them. And I was like, and I'm broke. I have no money. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I was like, you know what? I could go ahead and give it to you like around your birthday. And so this way it makes things a lot easier for me. So that way I don't have to worry about trying to figure out how do I give it a gift to others. So I already kind of have an idea of like how I'm gonna present it and be like, yeah, it's for like the show, because like part of it is for the show, like, yeah. So yeah, I think that's really about it. But I wanted to at least give you a heads up, basically. There we go. Finally moved into place. But yeah, I wanted to give you a heads up about it, and I think that's really about it. Yeah. But I'll talk to you later. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I'll do another video tonight. I don't know what time, but I'll do another video tonight. And let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. And, oh, yeah, one other thing. So, I understand that, especially if you feel guarded around me or with me, I'm somewhat confused. Like, since you're feeling guarded around me, why do you... I mean, I'm glad for the company. I'm glad that you still want to talk to me. I'm just, like, confused. Confused. Like, if you're feeling guarded around me, why do you want me to still make videos and, like, still talk to you? And, yeah. So hiccups. I mean, overall, I really do enjoy the company. Unless you've already mentioned before, which I know before you mentioned that you're trying to see if it'll work and trying to decide from there. So, I wonder if it's that or if it's like something else. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. I hope that you have a great night. Again, I'll do another video and I get to eat pizza. Like, what was I thinking? I don't even like pizza, but it's jalapeno and it's cheesy bread, and I do enjoy cheesy bread. So yeah, hope you have a great night. Bye. I love you.